welcome to At His Pace. And today we are so excited, even though you don't see my partner with me. He's here in spirit, but we have the wonderful opportunity to interview, sit down and chat with my girl, MJ Mania Johnson. I will let her talk to you about who she is and all the wonderful things that she does. But the reason why we wanted to do this is because this is the last day of the Great in 28 Challenge. And so we wanted to give you some advice and some encouragement about how to continue on doing the things that you started out to do in February 1st. So, Coach MJ, tell us about who you are and what you are currently involved in.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. Let me start with saying I am so proud of you for making it 28 days with Rhonda and Mark. I think this is fantastic. And I know that some of us probably, okay, what's next? And so that's why we're here, and how to make this lifestyle of discipline actually that, a lifestyle. So my name is MJ. My government name is Mania Johnson. And I am a wellness enthusiast as well as a wellness coach for men and women who want to be leaders of their disciplined lives. And so I have been coaching for about 2 years. My journey actually started about 6 years ago when I was just tired of being tired and not appreciating how I allowed my body to not reflect the grace of God that is on my life. And very matter of fact, I didn't like being juicy. So I had to figure out a way for me to commit to something. And I took one of the hugest leaps and I signed up for a fitness competition. Y'all, I had no muscle whatsoever. I was just completely proud of myself for choosing discipline for the months it took me to step on stage, losing almost 80 pounds. And I have been living this way for the last 6 years. I am also a bodybuilder part-time. I compete in bikini shows locally and nationally, and it's been one of the highlights of my life every single year. I'm also an author, and so I've written 2 books, but most recently, January 2021, I released a 21-day devotional to help folks like y'all to choose wellness and discipline, but getting to the root of the issue, because you can do anything for 21 days. You can do anything for 28 days, but how do you make it a lifestyle without really tackling the mindsets that you've grown into as an adult? And so that's what this book is for. It's called Harvest Living. It is a 21-day guided devotional. And by guided, it means that there are questions in here that really tug at your heart and make you go back even to your childhood to understand the why of the habits that you created as an adult. Outside of the professional side of me, I am a wife of 9 years. I'm married to Sean Johnson. He is the love of my life. I have 4 beautiful children, 2 bonus daughters, 28, 26, 2 sons, 17 and 13, a son-in-law, Vincent, love you, Vince, and my grandbaby, who is going to be 4 years old this year.
Girl, honey, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Lord, bless you. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. And I'll just do a shameless plug, but not so shameless. I read her book and I enjoyed it. And it really did. I did another challenge this summer. I called it a 52 card pickup, and I was able to use her devotional during that time, and it really did bless me. So we will go ahead and make sure that we put the information on how to access that book in the link below once we get done with that. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. Can you then tell us how 6 years ago, like your health history propelled you into your current state of wellness?
It's been 9 years. Actually, my goodness gracious, it's been 10 years this year since I had open heart surgery. And I've had some very traumatic things happen in my health life in the last 41 and a half years. But that was one of the most traumatic things. And there was a tumor in my heart that caused a massive stroke as well. And after that happened, I knew that something needed to change in my life, but it was more of a spiritual thing. I did fall in a little bit of depression between the time of heart surgery until I made a decision to like change my physical body, and had other strokes and of that nature. And I'm like, okay, God, I need you to heal my body. But it wasn't just an act of me asking him to heal my body, but what did I need to do to remember what he's given me to take care of the body that he so graciously let me live in? And that was taking care of it. And when I had that epiphany moment, and just to be super transparent, the day that I decided to change my life, I was in the shower. And I couldn't see all the things, okay? And it was very traumatic. And I'm like, how did I let myself get here? After seeing how God has healed me and blessed me to live, like, am I really allowing myself to reflect God's grace? And the answer was no. I was eating what I wanted to. I was emotionally eating. And when I say emotionally eating, I mean, I was in the back of the parking lot at Wendy's before picking up my children from daycare, smashing a double snack, a chicken nugget, a large fry, a Frosty, and then I would get a Diet Coke. And then I would Febreze so my kids wouldn't ask me what that smell is, because they would want some Wendy's too. And we got food at home.
Oh, gosh.
And so understanding that sickness really isn't just an illness, it really is a mind thing. And so having strokes and having cancerous issues in my lady parts, my thyroid, I'm like, okay, God, you made the earth. You made things on this earth to heal our bodies. Am I taking advantage of those things? Now, everybody isn't called to be a vegan, because it really depends on our blood type. Everyone isn't called to be a vegetarian, but eating according to what our body and our blood is asking for is important. I was just eating all of the things, all of them, all of the things that were causing inflammation in my body, that was causing callus buildup in my body, sugar, red dyes, flaming hot. So let me tell you, they're delicious, but they're not of the Lord at all. But once I started to eat whole foods, my body began to heal itself. And so I don't have a thyroid. And after 15 years, once I started taking care of myself, I'm no longer on thyroid medicine. I don't have one, because Jesus and eating well literally has kept me off of medication for a very, very, very long time. And so when I decided to choose to allow God to be a part of my life physically, and choosing to eat what I needed to eat to take care of myself and sustain my life.
I'm trying not to shout. I'm trying to hold my peace, girl. I'm trying to hold my peace. That is so inspirational and so inspiring. And it lends to the fact that no matter where you are, you can start, right? You don't have to be this great fitness buff to begin. Everybody has to start somewhere, right? And it starts with a choice and a decision. And you made that in that shower. And we are blessed by your experience now and your ability to allow God to do what we know he can do. So powerful, so powerful. Thank you so much. I'm trying to hold my peace though. Okay. So with that being said, then how do you stay motivated to hit your fitness goals in such a demanding sport, the bodybuilding sport, especially when there are so few people in your immediate circle who are trying to do the same thing?
I don't stay motivated, actually. I actually don't like that word, because motivation is as fleeting as emotional feelings and love. I feel in love. I feel. Motivation is a feeling. It's not a mindset. Mm-hmm. And so I choose to have a heart posture of being a disciplined disciple.
Come on.
And so if I am a disciple of Christ, if I am made in his image, if I am purposed for a prosperous future, what is that? And so it's not just knowledge, it's not motivation, it's literally denying myself, as the word of God calls us to do, denying my flesh, the tacos and the brownies and all the yummy things that I want, because it literally pleases the Lord. It's discipline. Mm-hmm. Just like we choose discipline to wake up in the morning, I hope, and to spend time with our Father before anyone else gets our time. And just like we choose discipline in our finances, I hope that we're budgeting. It is a posture of mind. It's not a feeling. And motivation comes and goes. There are days like today, I wanted to stay in bed. I was just like, do I really need to work out? And the answer is yes, because I have a show coming up. But I laid in bed a little bit longer than I typically do. But I knew that, okay, I have to say it out loud. This is what you've chosen. You've chosen to honor God with your body. And you need to get up. You need to go to the gym. Was I motivated to get up this morning? Heck no, absolutely not. I was catching up on my shows that I've missed for the last week because I'm in the gym in the evening. So motivation is not something that I think that we as believers really need to adopt in our language, because Christ has called us to be disciplined, not motivated.
That's so interesting. In the post that I did today for day 28, it talked about understanding the freedom that you have in your discipline, right? It's a choice. We're back there again. What freedoms do you have? It's still a discipline, but what freedoms do you choose within that discipline? Girl, you better go on and preach that thing. Go on and preach that thing. Okay, listen, I know we're running out of time, so I'll make sure, otherwise I could talk to you all day like I do on Marco Polo anytime. Right. So anyway. So then what is the most challenging thing? Let's shift a little bit into how you maintain this lifestyle. It's not motivation, it's discipline. So how do you, what my question is? What's the most challenging thing about meal prep? I hear you talking about that all the time. So talk to us about meal prep.
Yeah, so the most challenging thing is that I'm a bodybuilder in a house that don't live with bodybuilders. And so I'm still a mom that chooses to meal prep for her children. And so I make them casseroles, and it's like yummy, and like cheese. It's still healthy. There's vegetables sprinkled in there, but they get some cheese, okay? And I also cook something separately for my husband, because he works 12-hour shifts. The least I can do is make the man some food. And so then my meals are completely different, because I've chosen to honor the blood that God has given me, which is more of a vegetarian, a pescatarian diet. And so the most challenging thing is doing it when I am exhausted and making sure that I have a system and a plan in place. And so my plan right now is when I get home from church on Sundays, I hit that Instacart button, because that's saving me time where I can actually rest until the groceries are here. And so I'm resting and knowing that I don't have to go to the grocery store. I've made a list in Instacart. It's already there. It's just a reorder situation, because I know what I'm going to make. And I make different variations of things every week, but it's the same proteins, the same veggies, different flavors. I just switch it up. And so I know for me specifically, when I'm in competition prep, I eat the same foods every single day. And that is challenging, especially when I don't have a cheat day during competition prep. And I want tacos because the Lord made them and He has blessed them for all people. And that, I would say, I'm okay with eating the same thing every single day, but it's something knowing that, okay, I'm in prep and I can't have like a little sprinkle of this or a little bit of that. It's very precise in measuring my food. But other than that, not taking a big scoop of my kids' casseroles is quite challenging sometimes. But again, it's a mindset. If I know that this is how I choose to live, then it gets a little bit easier.
Mark and I were just talking about that. Like, why do we have those same habits, bad habits? Because we don't plan for them, right? And we go to the grocery store and then we buy all this stuff because it's right in our face, like that's the way they design it. And so then the Instacart or things like that eliminate that.
Don't go to the grocery store hungry. Like, it's just a really bad idea. Even if you're buying, fruit is good for you. But we really should have a balance in all the things. So it's just not going to the grocery store is just so helpful for me personally, especially when I am starving. But I typically eat every 2 to 3 hours. And if I need to run to the store for my children, I have a little cooler in my car. I have nuts in there. I've got water. I've got blueberries. I've got something in there that I can eat quickly before I go into the store, so that my mind isn't like girl, you know you need to have just one bag of chips.
Right. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. And we can really talk ourselves into and out of things very quickly. And so God has given us the spirit that we could have a right mind. That's why the word says, renew within us a right spirit, because if we're not being diligent about feeding our spirits with the word of God, how are we going to be diligent with feeding our bodies with what it needs? It doesn't it has to make sense. And you have to be aware and yielding to temptation.
That's right. That's right. And planning, right?
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right. And it's the little foxes that spoil the bag, even those little bitty bags of chips that are at the little, right.
Calories and has like 210 grams of sodium.
And that sodium is of the devil. And I am a sodium.
That's not what the Lord means for us to be salt and light.
Oh, it's not. Amen. Okay. So I'm going to have to divvy my questions up so we can stay on time. Talk about liquid calories and how detrimental they can be, honey.
Liquid calories, as in when Jesus turned the water into wine calories?
Not necessarily, but we can go there too. But I'm talking about even just sugary drinks, pops and juices.
Yeah, it's just for women, especially because we hold a lot of our weight in our lower portion, an extreme amount of sugar, even those juices that say, 100% juice, and it's not like ocean spray. I love ocean spray, but it's not 100% juice. It has a lot of sugar and fructose in there. It's not natural. That goes right into those little crevices where our cellulite is. And it just lives there. And it just hangs on. And it don't go away. And so when people say, oh, I'm going to do smoothies for 21 days, are you? But are you making sure that if you're doing a smoothie diet, I'm all here for getting our greens in, but when you're doing it, are you putting actual things in there that your body needs to be sustained throughout the day? Right. There's protein, there's carbs, there is good fats. And so there's B12 and B16 and vitamins. And so just throwing some spinach in a banana and some honey or whatever it might be and a pineapple in a blender, you're withering away, sure, because you're actually not giving it what you need. And so my suggestions for folks who are wanting to do like the liquid diets, specifically speaking about drinking smoothies, do your research first. Find out what plants have protein in them. One thing that I'm always shocked to hear when I tell my clients is that asparagus, for 10 spears of asparagus, there's actually 10 to 12, maybe even 16, depending on the size, grams of protein in 10 spears of asparagus.
Okay.
So just be careful with that. And the other liquid sugar is something that, I think Jesus did make the wine for me to consume, but not on prep. It's good for your heart, yes, but be careful with the white wines and the blueberry wines and things of that nature. It just has a lot of sugar that stays with you for up to 72 hours in your gut. Even if you try to drink those tummy teas, which I do not suggest, is not a thing. Do the work. Don't cut the corners. Eat well. Water. That's a whole nother video. You just want to be sure that you're not drinking a lot of like orange juice that has a lot of sugar in it and ocean sprays and the Gatorades. Your body can get what it needs from whole foods every single day. And don't go being vegan or vegetarian if you're not seeing a dietitian or a nutritionist to make sure that your blood can actually handle that kind of lifestyle.
Good stuff. So then I'm going to jump over this question. And then what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? I know that you're doing
I love intermittent fasting. So I will tell you that it's so good for our digestive systems. Breakfast really just means break fast. So that can be any time of the day. But allowing your gut to actually have a moment to like, okay, bro, can we rest? Can we take a minute? It actually helps you to get rid of the bowel and the food that you've digested the day before in such a healthier way. Intermittent fasting, fast for 16 hours, eat for 8. Some people do a 23-hour fast and they do OMAD, which is like you literally eat for 1 hour. You get all of your calories in. I could never do it because I eat a lot of calories in a day, but it's so good for your gut health, and it can really help you lose and burn the fat that you need a little bit more quicker than just eating, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at regular times, but giving yourself a cutoff time at the end of your evening. Let's just say it's 7:00, and then you don't begin to eat again to the next day until 11 a.m. You're literally giving your gut an opportunity to rest, but also your system is burning the fat that's already in your body. You can drink water and like black coffee and things of that nature, which I love. Rhonda hates black coffee. She said it's nasty, and I tried to tell her with cinnamon, and she still don't like it.
I'm trying.
Intermittent fasting is so good. And I want to kind of go back to the bowel movement thing. I know that's something that folks don't really like to talk out loud. It's kind of like taboo, but going to the bathroom is so important. A lot of the bloating that men and women experience is because they're not actually emptying their bowels fully every day. People really should be moving their bowels 3 to 4 times a day. If you're only going once a day, that means that there's something off with the enzymes inside of your intestinal system, and doing intermittent fasting can actually correct the damage that has been done over the years from overeating, gluttony, sugar, too much sodium, alcohol, whatever it may be. And then you can find yourself having full bowel movements that actually float and don't sink to the bottom of the toilet because your system has had an opportunity to heal.
Yes. And you know what I've just found too, doing this, I was just doing 10 to 8. I was a little wimp at first, but I did move to 12 to 8 in this last 2 weeks of the challenge. And what's been surprising to me is I really have not been that hungry in the evening. I'm a night snacker. Like I will eat Cheetos at the bedside, but I really have not. Yeah, it's bad. I really have not been hungry at night. And that was the one I was afraid of, that part. Like the morning was not as concerning to me, but at night it was. But for whatever reason, my system is kind of set now that I know after this challenge, I feel like I will be able to continue to do that to some degree. So yeah.
I love it. I do love it. So
yeah. Let's see what we got. Okay. Last question, or let's put these two together. Because I want you to talk about how people can get in contact with you if they want to become your client and all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure we have some room for that. So how do you manage work-life balance with your regimented training schedule and then staying getting mentally ready for this competition? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I don't want to be churchy, but it really is a little bit Jesus. Because I currently work for my church. I left my corporate job after 8.5 years as a private equity lender for real estate developers and rehabbers. And I was so used to being on, and not really having a ton of freedom and peace, if you will. And now that I've chosen to actually go into ministry full time, I'm finding myself having time and being diligent and not filling the time that I used to be busy in with new things. And so I have a plan for every day. I have a schedule, and including on my schedule is rest time. And so if I am not rested, the execution of anything that I do, whether it's meal planning or even working out, and then peopling, that doesn't go very well. And so I have a block of time every Saturday that's on my calendar, literally on my calendar, to rest between either 12 and 5 or 1 and 5 p.m. I don't talk on the phone. I don't scroll social media. I sleep. And so being sure that we're well rested physically and mentally and emotionally is a big part of how we can stay in busy schedules. And I'm a mom too. So in a little bit, I have to go take my sons to private drum lessons. And so I sometimes have to rearrange my day, but hear what I'm saying. It's scheduled. Yeah. What time going to get up, what time I'm going to work out, laundry, meal prepping. Did I pay the bills? Like literally every single thing is planned. And then there's, of course, space for spontaneity. But it's hard sometimes because I have to choose to not be as social when I'm in prep. I don't go out to dinner with my friends. I don't go out, period, because the food I can't have. And there's some times where my coach will make an allowance, but I get up early to do cardio. I eat 4 to 5 meals, spend some time with my family. And then in the evening, I am in the gym from 6 to 8:30, Monday through Friday. And I'm grateful that I think like what gets me, I call it Jesus Juju. Jesus Juju. It's endorphins. Okay. And when I decided to start calling my endorphins Jesus Juju, it does something to me because he made it. Yeah. I know that even when I'm tired, when I get to the gym, something happens and my energy is so pumped up. And when I'm welcoming him into my workout, I pray out loud. I don't care who's looking or listening to me. That's my time of prayer and worship and warfare. When I'm lifting heavy things, if I'm keeping somebody in prayer, I'm thinking about them and praying for them when I'm working out. And so that gives me energy. Like, okay, God, who do you want me to be praying for today? Is it me? Like, do I need to hear from you today? Speak to me while I'm at the gym, God. Speak to me. Help me to be focused on my body, but hearing you while I'm focusing on my body. And I tell you, he comes through every single time. There is absolutely no way. And I know folks who are not Christian have done this lifestyle for so long, but it also can sometimes come with some unhealthy habits like steroids and mental issues and drugs and things of that nature. But my vice is Jesus. I'm not even sure if that's a thing to say, but I literally get so pumped up knowing that I'm about to have my time with the Lord at the gym. When no one's asking me questions, just me, my hat, and some weights. And so that keeps me diligent because I know that I could have died from thyroid cancer. I could have died from open heart surgery. I could have died from being in a car accident, breaking my legs. I could have died from the 4 strokes that I have. I could die because I don't have blood flowing through most of the part of my brain, but there is grace and there is healing that Jesus has given me. So why wouldn't I want to commit my life of fitness to him? And even if this is not your lifestyle, I encourage you to have the same mindset. If you have breath in your lungs, why not commit your wellness journey to the Lord? If he helps you pay your bills, those are his bills anyway. Why not allow your body to reflect the daily grace that he gives us every single day? Choosing him, choosing wellness is choosing the Lord. Come on now. It's his temple. It's his body. It doesn't belong to us in the first place.
Girl, my socks off. You have blessed my socks off. I'm taking them off. So last question, Coach MJ, how can people get in touch with you? How can they utilize you? You are a coach. You teach people about meal prep and all that stuff. Tell us how we can get in touch with you.
So you can reach me at my email address or on social media, actually is what I do prefer. Instagram, you can follow me at harvestliving_MJ. harvestliving_MJ. Or you can go to my website at www.harvestliving.mj.com. Reach out to me that way. I will say that I do not say yes to everybody. I turn down folks who are not emotionally, mentally ready for the journey. I am not one of those coaches who will take your money knowing that you are not ready. I do have a consultation process where I ask specific questions to really gauge if someone is ready or not to do this journey. It's all virtual for me right now. I provide you with a monthly meal plan, as well as a monthly workout plan, including accountability, check-ins, and of course, a new prayer partner. All of my clients get a prayer partner that comes with their membership with me. And it's been a blessing. And again, I don't say yes to everybody. And I want to be sure that number one, I have the bandwidth, right? And then number two, that you're actually ready to commit to at least 3 months working with me.
I am excited about your competition. I plan to be there and support you in that way, and definitely continuing to pray for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing. I just feel so much encouragement from just talking to you. I mean, I get to talk to you all the time anyway. I mean, I'm special like that, but sharing with our listeners and our viewers, I hope that you all are encouraged to continue on God's journey. You can do it. You can do it. You are great in 28, but you need to be in some March Madness and some April awareness and some June juju, Jesus juice, juju, whatever. Let's do it.